Welcome to this week in the world of wrestling.
Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary, Ashton, and this is our Monday Night Raw review. And here's the thing, guys, it's very interesting because this to me was a very, again, as I used the term last week, middle of the road episode of Monday Night Raw. But at the same time, we had some very compelling segments sprinkled throughout the show and some major, announcements that were made, regarding the road to WrestleMania and things that happen around WrestleMania season. So overall, I would classify it as a worthwhile episode, but I'm still hoping for the go-home Raw next week before Royal Rumble to really deliver the goods. Ashton, what'd you think of it?
It's weird because, to me, this was about like a 6 out of 10 kind of Raw, but I don't think it had any 6 out of 10 segments. It felt like every segment was either like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 or like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. They were all either really awful or really awesome. It was, I think I used this to describe last week's Raw too. It was just a really polarized episode.
Absolutely. I would completely concur with you on that. So, with that said, let's get right into our first segment. Heat of the night. I don't have any heats tonight, but I do have a nitpick. It's pretty much the same as your big heat of the night from last week. JBL continues to show resistance towards, supporting the Ascension. He keeps bad-mouthing them. And what's even weirder, though it is appreciated, Booker T, the babyface, consistently comes in to make the save, saying, no, these guys are impressive. No, these guys, I think, have the goods to really make a splash.
Well, and it's not even just Booker T. It's him and Cole. Even Cole says, well, I'm not trying to side with the Ascension there, which I appreciate because he's at least prefacing it by saying that and trying not to make it seem like he is supporting the heel team. He even says, yeah, I'm not trying to support the Ascension, but you can only fight who is put in front of you. I love that. And JBL just continues to be a massive douchebag. And he even went as far tonight as to say, I don't care about Twitter, when we all know that he tweets on the job.
Exactly. And, it really disgusts me because you figure with how much pandering he does for the Authority and other heels, like he could be a great, service to the Ascension, in his role as a heel commentator, and he just actively chooses not to. So it's frustrating, but again, only as a nitpick, simply because you addressed it as a legitimate heat of the night the week prior, so no need in beating a dead horse. But with that established, do you have any heats of the night tonight?
Man, I was tempted to bring out a heat of the night for the Divas segment, but I feel like if I wasn't against being repetitive, I would have the same 2 or 3 heats of the night every week. It would be Divas, JBL, and something about John Cena. And I just don't feel like doing the repetitiveness.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I just feel like the same pitfalls that we've come to know about Monday Night Raw, there is a consistency there, but there's no point talking about it over and over again because how many variances can you put on the same analysis, So I totally understand that. So with that said, I guess we'll just very quickly do our Smackdown recap.
Oh, God.
The two biggest surprises to me on this SmackDown. Sin Cara getting a non-title win over Bad News Barrett.
Which, in the version that I watched, either I accidentally skipped over that match, I don't think I did, but apparently something happened, or they just managed to just not show that match at all, because the version I saw, there was no Barrett Sin Cara match, and even though I was looking forward to watching it, and the show just ended without it happening, so something went wonky there. So I apologize for not being able to give any kind of analysis on that, but I'm sure it was great.
I only watched the WWE kind of snippet of the match that they provide on their YouTube channel, and Sin Cara did win after his beautiful-looking senton, and he got the pinfall victory. So it wasn't even like he caught BNB in a hiccup. He legitimately beat him, which I think was really cool. Barrett had cut a promo before the match kind of railing against Ziggler and kind of talking trash to him. Saying, I'm in a good mood, so I'll give you your rematch. Oh, wait, I can't do that because you got fired. And after Sin Cara, though, did get the win, and commentary, to their credit, was building it up as the upset that, it should be perceived as. Barrett did another post-match beatdown that seems to be his new thing, lose matches and get a post-match beatdown. And we know now, just to kind of put everything in perspective, that this Thursday, on the, I guess, debut Thursday episode of Smackdown, with their return to that slot, it's going to be Sin Cara versus Bad News Barrett for the IC title. Should be a fun matchup, Ash, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I kind of doubt Sin Cara wins, but honestly, if he did, I probably wouldn't even complain.
I'd probably pop, to be honest with you. He's just so good. But yeah, I think BMB is going to hold on to that title for a while. But the other surprise came. We already got the return of Dean Ambrose, and that came about, it was a tag team main event, Seth Rollins and Big Show versus Roman Reigns and a partner of his choice.
Yeah, say what you will about that match, but at the end of the day, the only noteworthy thing as far as this whole group of fellows goes was the absolutely cringeworthy promo that they cut at the beginning of the show, namely Roman Reigns dropping the suffer and succotash line, and, might I add, telling Seth that his brain is filled with, and I'm not joking, I'm not, euphemizing anything, this is exactly what he said word for word, donkey dung.
Yeah, I've noticed Puitov and other outlets really talking about Reigns' promo, and apparently it has come to light that Vince writes his promos. So if that is true, which for the record I can readily believe.
Oh, absolutely. It is all Vince McMahon all the time.
I think I'm going to pull back a bit on my criticisms of Reigns because I'm really starting to reconsider how much of this is his fault. So, yeah, I think he's just been dealt a bad hand, which is ironic because, you'd think being groomed for that next spot would be the best thing in the world. But apparently a lot of creative restraints go with it, and it just sucks. You know what? Because the real Roman Reigns to me, the authentic Roman Reigns, is the same guy that when the crowd was starting up their "Let's go Cena sucks" crap, Reigns looked to the side, said Cena sucks, and he says, when Roman Reigns is in the house, you're damn right Cena sucks. That's the confident, cocky Roman Reigns that I know you and I have been wanting, and I think it could work face or heel, even though we have a preference for that as well.
Even if you want to go as recently as, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, when he was saying something and Big Show came out, and he said, Big Show, I want you to know that if you come down to this ring, I'm going to punch you in your mouth. And Show did, and he did. Like that, it just keep it succinct. We don't need to hear the entire Jack and the Beanstalk story, Roman Reigns.
That was so awkward tonight. In fact, I'm so glad you mentioned it now, because I don't even really know if I want to talk about it too much when we get to it. That was just such an awkward promo.
And you know what the crazy thing is? And it's ridiculous. You can tell that there is a good talker waiting to happen there. You can tell he has that natural charisma. He even has a natural delivery. But the content that he is being given is so insufferable. And I almost quoted Roman Reigns and said suffer and succotash, but I'm not that corny. But it's just so incredibly bad. And I am going to go as far as to say, I don't think anybody could make the promo that Roman Reigns has been given, the content specifically, sound cool, save for maybe The Rock. And even then, it would come off as one of his cornier promos.
Even then, yeah, you would kind of let out a little groan and be like, come on, Rocky. But that's the bad thing here. I just feel like Roman Reigns, in terms of the content, as you noted, has been so slighted with what he's been given. I mean, this is the same guy. Again, we keep telling people, go back, listen to the Royal Rumble live reaction from last year. I did recently, actually. I went back and
so did I.
30
Dude,
minutes.
my audio quality on that show was so bad.
I know, but I was going hysterical for Roman Reigns. Elimination.
You were acting with Roman Reigns on that show the way that I imagine you would act if Cesaro was in a world title match.
Exactly. Exactly. And yet he has fallen so far. And again, like, really putting in perspective, maybe it's not entirely his fault. Because I feel like when Reigns is just being Roman Reigns, he is so good. The Roman Reigns that we saw in NXT,
even
all
the
that other
macho
stuff.
even the Macho Man impression that he did tonight, so
Right.
good. It was so good. It was entertaining. He has a charisma about him. He just needs to be given something to work with. This is the equivalent of going to Africa and giving all those little kids bigger, slightly juicier bugs to eat and being like, here, now go feed yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, you know what the infuriating thing, Ashton, and then we'll move on, is that you say he needs to be given something to work with. The thing is, I think when you've got a performer like Reigns, he should be one of the easiest people to work with and to give something. You know, like you said, keep it succinct. Let him, mow people down like he was doing last year. People love that about Reigns.
Give Roman Reigns the Rusev treatment, but without the broken English.
Exactly. And you've got a star right there. You've got a star. But with that said, was there anything else noteworthy about the SmackDown that you want to touch on very quickly, or do you think we can move on to our Raw review?
I'm trying to think. I don't think anything super noteworthy happened. I think, honestly, the biggest pieces of news coming out of SmackDown were the Reigns promo, which, for negative reasons, and Sin Cara over Barrett.
Right.